Hey, Commander Fennec here, and AppleTV's Foundation series is one of the first I sunk my reviewing teeth into.
That's the one where you locked yourself in your room and wouldn't let anyone else contribute, eh?
Yes, well,
Not even funny little comments.
that's right, but...
Or have someone to bounce thoughts and ideas around with.
You guys are correct, and to be fair, my reviews wouldn't be the same without you in it.
That's so nice to hear.
But for this compilation, it's just me from beginning to end. One has to start somewhere.
I've actually reformatted them to take advantage of the widescreen format. And I took the opportunity to change the title sequence because we no longer have those animated font styles from that time.
You've lost some editing tools again.
McCluck, it's not my fault, okay? It's not up to me to know what everything is.
And whose is it up to then, eh?
McCluck, no! Roll him.
Hey, Commander Fennec here, and it's time to delve into Foundation. This show's based on Isaac Asimov's series of 7 highly influential novels that inspired so much other sci-fi. What? You haven't read the books? Don't worry, neither have I. So I won't be comparing the series to the books just on its own as a self-contained piece of entertainment. And wow, what a spectacle. I felt like I was watching a big-budget movie. The effects are so good. This feature-length pilot episode can feel quite slow throughout as there's a lot of setup, but if you're into sci-fi and world-building, I think you'll be impressed. They've managed to deal with exposition without being too boring, well, most of the time. If you're looking for non-stop action, however, this episode's not really for you. It's well written and acted, with interesting characters, so I'm awarding The Emperor's Piece 3 paws. Hey, Commander Fennec here, and Foundation continues with Preparing to Live. The story splits into 2 major plotlines, the aftermath of the terrorist attack and the years-long journey to Terminus to set up Foundation, a means of preserving the galaxy's knowledge for the coming mathematically predicted apocalypse. It is most interesting to see how the cloned emperors, one old, one in his prime, and one an infant, handle the crisis, and we see that the Emperor's Piece is pretty totalitarian when it comes down to it. It was odd to see the massive exile crew, as how could they have been selected so quickly, since this takes place just days after the last episode? But nevertheless, through various scenes, we see people committed to their task and all too aware of the dangers that lie ahead. A shocking ending notwithstanding, it's another slow burn, mostly dealing with character rather than spectacle, taking us deeper into the world and psyche of Foundation, and worthy of another 3 paws. Hey, Commander Fennec here. Let's check out Foundation's The Mathematician's Ghost. Disappointingly, last episode's shocking cliffhanger isn't picked up or even mentioned. Instead, we travel to the last days of Cleon I, then forward 19 years after the terrorist attack. There's something fascinating about this cloned emperor, how they move from Brother Dawn to day to dusk and finally to darkness, and how a mysterious android has been by their side all this time. But the bulk of the episode focuses on Salvor, a warden of Terminus, in the story's present, some 36 years after the terror attack, and her connection to the Vault, a mysterious floating object of unknown origin. This episode does a good job at giving us a sense of isolation the residents of Terminus feel so far away and cut off from the Empire, and how ill-equipped researchers are when faced with possible threat. There's a good sense of tension and mystery, and I'm awarding The Mathematician's Ghost 3 paws. Hey, Commander Fennec here, and let's check out Foundation's Barbarians at the Gate. You can literally feel the pressure rising up through this episode, be it with the political and societal machinations the clone emperors have to deal with, or on Terminus, where the Barbarians really are at the gate. We learn a little more about Salvor, and see she has gifts no one else in her outpost has, but she doesn't take them in her stride. She struggles with them and her place on this planet, making her a fascinating character. Also fascinating are those cloned emperors again, and how different from each other they are becoming over time. Based on what we're shown in this episode though, I'm just hoping they're not setting us up for some kind of King Joffrey situation. However, the dynamic between the 3 is as riveting as ever. By the time the episode ends, we really need to know what's going to happen next. It's a well-constructed story, and I'm awarding Barbarians at the Gate 3.5 paws. Hey, Commander Fennec here, and let's check out Foundation's Upon Awakening. We finally get a continuation of episode 2's cliffhanger, but first we get a flashback to Gale and her people and realize Upon Awakening really has 2 meanings here. In the show's present, Gale's cryostasis is interrupted as she is rescued by an unknown ship where she seems to be the only living being. I did say it was a continuation, not a resolution. There are hints and clues, we see what happened to Harry's murderer, Raish Foss, but we still have no idea what's going on. Still, it was great to see her again, and her scenes were riveting, but where is it all leading to? Meanwhile, it's all coming to a head on Terminus, and we see that our barbarians are far more cunning and resourceful than the naive scientists give them credit for. So many questions. Let's hope the next episode will start to provide some answers. In the meantime, I'm awarding, upon awakening, 3.5 paws. Hey, Commander Fennec here, and let's check out Foundation's Death and the Maiden. This is an interesting episode. We see an exploration of what it means to be alive and delve into a belief of reincarnation, juxtaposing that with the apparent static life of a cloned emperor, always the same, never changing. Except that might not be the case. What if clones aren't perfect copies? What if they're different at some fundamental level? Meanwhile, Salvor on Terminus is somehow connected to events of the past that led to Harry's murder, and the revelations there are getting quite interesting, like a mathematical prediction so complex it can predict the destiny of an intergalactic empire, yet be disrupted by the actions of a single person. The special effects are seamless, blending sweeping vistas with personal struggles. It's incredibly entertaining, but if you have a fear of heights, you might want to look away for a particular scene. I'm awarding Death and the Maiden the full 4 paws. Hey, Commander Fennec here, and let's check out Foundation's Mysteries and Martyrs. I find it fascinating how Brother Day has to tackle with the likely future head of a powerful religion insisting he has no soul, as he's but a copy of a former being, while his younger counterpart, Brother Dawn, is showing us just how wrong she actually is. This episode also answers a question I had been asking myself: what would happen if one of the 3 clones dies? Meanwhile, Salvo's struggle with the Barbarians finally leads to a realization of what their shocking plan has been all along, and Gale's story continues as we understand more about Harry's thought processes and what really makes Gale so special. Each episode is better than the last, and I'm more and more intrigued and fascinated by the world that is unfolding before us. The writing is top-notch, the acting excellent, the music engrossing, and the effects immersive. Therefore, then I'm awarding Mysteries and Martyrs the full 4 paws. Hey, Commander Fennec here, and let's check out Foundation's The Missing Piece. Like a lens, this story slowly discards peripheral characters and focuses more and more on those crucial to the story. We have Gale and Harry on their way to Harry's homeworld, Salvor and Farah making their way through the battleship Invictus, and Brother Day embarking on a perilous spiritual journey of enlightenment, walking the spiral. Gale's arc feels more like a stepping stone in this episode, and the events between Salvor and Farah are mostly just action and conflict. Very little of what was developed for them in the previous episodes was expanded upon here. But that's because the focus was on Brother Day. Even though the outcome was predictable, it's not like we haven't seen something similar many times before in other series and movies. But if the destination wasn't interesting, the journey certainly was. Character growth for both Brother Day and the android Demerzel is unmistakable, and it'll be interesting to see where that leads. I'm awarding The Missing Piece 3 paws. Hey, Commander Fennec here, and let's check out Foundation's The First Crisis. The ending of the last episode made it appear as if the events that took place around Brother Day were inconsistent with the developing story of Brother Dawn. I do love an intelligent and well-crafted story, and here we understand why those threads were not inconsistent in the slightest. And what's more satisfying than a seed planted in an earlier episode logically germinating just at the right time? I also like it when neither protagonist nor antagonist behave stupidly or assume the other can be easily fooled, and this was evidenced throughout this entire episode. It's still not clear how Gale and Salvor are connected, aside from the fact that they may share similar skills. As always though, the most fascinating elements lied with our cloned emperors. The writers have weaved an engaging tapestry. Let's hope they can keep it going into the finale. I'm awarding The First Crisis 3.5 paws. Hey, Commander Fennec here, and let's check out Foundation's season finale, The Leap. All the major events were actually pretty much resolved in the previous episode, and this one just wraps them up. The true function of the Foundation is revealed. We understand why Salvor kept having visions, what the purpose of the Vault was, and the outcome of a conspiracy against the cloned emperors is laid bare. On the one hand, we see the true cold, calculated and terrifying power of an absolute totalitarian regime, and on the other, we can't help but feel for the perpetrators of that regime. It's pretty good writing and acting if you ask me. Again, and as always, I'm drawn more towards the clones and their struggles. It's a source of endless fascination for me. Sadly, there are some characters we won't be seeing again, and the latter half of the episode is just setting events in motion and moving people into position, ready for the second season, which felt unsatisfying. I'm awarding The Leap 2.5 paws. Share your thoughts in the comments, live long, and may the Force be with you. Well, that was fun.
He used the transporter a lot back then.
I wonder why he stopped doing that. Eh, McCluck?
What? Oh, come on, just because he couldn't take a practical joke.
What did you do?
Check out this security footage.
Care to tell me what's going on?
As the great Captain Shaw would say, no.
Damn it, I hate it when it does that. Computer, lights. What the hell?
Will you ever grow up?
Will you? Ha! Touché! I must admit that working with such juvenile crew members is a challenge. I surrender! He did it again!